Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary for Monday, November the 27th. Since my last update, the Canucks have lost back-to-back games. They lost 3-2 to New Jersey on Friday and 4-3 in an exciting shootout loss to the Rangers yesterday. Now the Canucks on this road trip, their 6-game road trip after 4 games, are 2-1-1. That's 2 wins, 1 regulation loss, and 1 shootout loss. A couple points from yesterday's game. The Sedins and Eriksson looked really good. In particular, in overtime, where the Sedins dominated one of the shifts. Daniel had at least 2 really good looks on that one shift alone. And alas, he was thwarted. He's still at 998 career points, just 2 shy of 1,000. So obviously, hopefully he'll get those in the next week or so in the next few games. But the Sedins and Eriksson look great together, and they were the Canucks' #1 line, most dangerous line yesterday. Speaking of the shootout, what was Ben Hutton doing shooting? The Canucks had scored twice, taken the lead twice in the shootout. Unfortunately, both times the Rangers scored on Jacob Markstrom to tie it up. And then it got to round 7, and out came Ben Hutton. I would have loved to see Jake Virtanen or Loui Eriksson have that opportunity because they're forwards. They're used to scoring from in close, and they had both scored earlier in the game. Now, Travis Green said he didn't put too much stock in the fact that they had scored earlier. Rather, he put more stock in the fact that he'd seen Ben Hutton score but last year sometime on a shootout attempt or a penalty shot or breakaway, whatever it may have been. So last Ben Hutton was in. I've said it last twice now. Ben Hutton was in. Virtanen and Eriksson were left on the bench, and we wonder what could have been. So yes, the Canucks, it'd be nice for them to get 2 points. At least they got 1, and at least it wasn't a conference rival getting the bonus point. So at least it wasn't a team that the Canucks will be fighting with for a playoff spot down the road. So I mentioned let's get back to Eriksson. I mentioned Eriksson and the Sedins. They played together because Travis Green mixed up the lines yesterday. With Sutter out, along with Dorsett, the 12 healthy forwards, then he mixed up almost up all the lines. So it was the Sedins and Eriksson. Horvat actually played between Vanek and Gagne. So Burmistrov played between Besser and Berchi. And then the new shutdown line was Marcus Granlund, Brendan Gaunce, and Jake Virtanen. And they played very, very well together, actually. It looks like those lines will not be the same, though, because in practice today, they had swapped Burmistrov and Horvat back. So Horvat was back in his rightful place between Brock and Berchi, and it was Burmistrov between Gagne and Vanek with Nikolai Goldobin in and out. And I'll talk about him in a sec. But I want to talk about Loui Eriksson first. He has quietly amassed 7 points in his last 7 games. That's a point per game, obviously, in those last 7. And he has 8 points in 12 games since returning from his injury, or at least 12 games on the season, a season that started off poorly because he suffered a knee injury very early in the season, and he's just come back. Eriksson is not the most flashy player. He's not going to dangle someone out of their skates. He's not going to win a foot race, or he's not going to plaster someone in the boards, but he does a lot of things well. He's got great hands. He's got a good nose around the net, good at deflections, good at shooting from the slot and putting the puck in. He's also very good defensively. He's underrated along the boards. His board play is strong, and he's very responsible. So that's why you'll see him sometimes take some penalty killing shifts. You'll definitely see him on the power play, and he's not a liability. He's not fast, but he's not a liability when he's out there. And again, him and the Sedins had a wonderful game, and we're going to need more of their scoring if we want to, especially now that Brock, Bo, and Berchi have dried up a little bit. Not too worried, but it was indeed balanced scoring, and balanced scoring is what we need with Eriksson and Virtanen and Gagne all scoring yesterday. Lastly, Nikolai Goldobin was called up because of Brandon Sutter's injury. Will he get in? I don't think he's going to get into the next game against the Islanders, but maybe he'll get in the last game of the road trip, or maybe when we return home, depending on how long Sutter is out. Goldobin, like I said, was taking line rushes with Burmistrov and Gagne, swapping in for Vanek. And we'll see what happens. You know, he can bring some offensive flair. He can bring some creativity. I know a lot of Canucks fans were really excited when we first got him in that trade for Jannik Hansen from the San Jose Sharks. And then he spent the first part of the season, obviously, in Utica. So let's see what he can do, especially, like I said, if Dorsett's going to be out for a while, if Sutter's going to be out, look for Goldobin to get into a game or two, hopefully in the very near future, and we can see what we have as our rebuild continues. Who would he come in for? Likely, it sounds like either Burmistrov, maybe even Vanek for a game, or maybe Brendan Gaunce is always a candidate to come out of the lineup. All right, Canucks fans, that's it for today. What did you think about the 2 games over the weekend? Were you disappointed? Were you okay with they played, with how they played? It was 2 hard-fought games, 2 exciting games. And how do the Canucks look as they look to take on the Matthew Barzal, another hot rookie in the NHL, and the New York Islanders? So let me know what you think. Leave a comment below, and I love your thoughts on Loui Eriksson. Could he be Could he be a difference maker for the team? And I sure hope so, given that we have 4 more years on his contract after this. But if he's 7 points in 7 games, that's nothing to sneeze at or do anything at. That's a very good thing and a very positive sign for the Canucks. Have a great day. Enjoy this non-game day. I'll check in with you tomorrow. Again, the Canucks and Islanders, they play tomorrow night. God bless, and go Canucks go.